Are you worried how you're going to perform on your English proficiency exam? You don't want to really answer it, but then because of the institution being abroad, you have to answer it. In that case, I'm here to help you out. My name is Pratik Joshi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be telling you a small secret which you can use to get admission to your desired institution abroad without answering any English proficiency exam. So without wasting much time, let's get started. Wait, before we start, I would just like to say that I've seen that many of you all are watching my videos, liking my content, and getting the solution to your issues, but you're not really subscribing to my channel. Why would you do that? So please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Have you done that? Okay, so I've assumed that you are a good person and you have done that. So without wasting much time, let's get started. Whenever someone's planning to study abroad, he will always plan two exams. One will be to measure his technical knowledge or his aptitude, which is basically tested in the GRE or the GMAT exam. But when it comes to the English proficiency exam, institutions are always eager to get your TOEFL or IELTS score. So in that case, you must have heard an aspirant say that I'm answering GMAT as well as I'm answering TOEFL or I'm answering IELTS. So in that case, to avoid answering these exams, you need to first understand why institutions require these exams. The university is very strict on its English proficiency exam because the university needs to understand that you are a person who is very comfortable with English. Whenever you answer these exams and get a particular score, and when you report that score, the university comes to know that here is a person who is confident in his written English and verbal English. And the university also gets an idea that this person will be able to understand the lessons which are being taught in English, and this person will be able to interact with the crowd around in English. So that is only the reason why these universities asked for this English proficiency exams. Whenever you select a particular university, go to that university's website and then check the requirements. In the requirements, there is a particular section which specifies the English proficiency exam and its waivers. There are many universities abroad that give a lot of waivers. The first one is always the same. This is basically if you are from an English speaking country, you are allowed a waiver in terms of English proficiency exam. But Indians do not get that waiver. Coming to the next waivers, here is a very important clause. The university says if you have done your previous schooling in an university where English was the only medium of instruction, in that case you are allowed a waiver. So in that case you are saved from answering your English proficiency exam. But then how does the university come to know that you have studied in the university where English was the medium of instruction? So now here comes the trick. If you have truly studied in a university where English was the only language of instruction, your university will be able to provide you with a document which says that English was your only medium of instruction. It is basically called as the medium of instruction certificate. I have got mine from my university. So if you check your university websites, you will get a link where you can apply for this certificate. If you have this certificate, you are saved from answering the English proficiency exam. But please make sure that the university that you want to study in has this waiver clause. If it does not have this waiver clause, there is no second thoughts about the TOEFL or the IELTS. You have to answer them. Now coming to the part where I help you out. Here are a few universities that I have mentioned through different regions which offer you a waiver if you have a medium of instruction certificate from your university. Make sure that you note down these institutions and select the course that you want to study. I have done my own research and found out about these universities. So please make sure that once you understand that this university offers you a waiver, go to this university's website and check again. Okay, sometimes these universities they do not keep these rules in action for a long time. Sometimes they change this particular requirement or this waiver. So I don't want you to get stuck on this video video and then assume that Pratik has said this is the thing, so we are going to go with it. I am certain about these things for now, but if you're watching this video maybe after 6 months or 1 year and some institution changes its requirement, I don't want you to get a shock at the very last second of your application. So please do your research as well. So I hope you have made a note of all these institutions, and I guess this offers you a good chance to apply to the university of your dreams. So I guess that is it guys for this video. I hope that this video was of some use to you. If it was, then please don't forget to subscribe. I've seen that many of you all are watching my videos, liking my videos and using it to your use, but you're not subscribing. That's a very mean thing to do guys. But I hope that I've really helped you out in this case. So please don't forget to subscribe. Also go out to my channel page and then check out my other videos. I have put out a bunch of videos regarding GMAT, your MBA applications and other things. So I hope that helps you out as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be seeing you for the next video. Until then, be happy, stay safe and all the best for your prep.